Previous employer cursing after I left. I worked at Bramwell Packaging for 6 years. I started as a receptionist and worked my way up to operations coordinator, which is a fancy title for one simple fact. I was the only person who knew how anything actually worked. I knew every vendor login. I knew which spreadsheet macro would break the whole invoice sheet if you touched the wrong cell. I knew the password to the shipping software, the one nobody ever bothered to write down anywhere official. I even knew where the paper archive was for orders older than 2019, stacked in a filing cabinet in the back warehouse. For 2 straight years, I asked my team lead, Denise, if we could get any of it written down properly. Can we build some kind of shared document? I'd ask. Just so it's not all just in my head? We don't have the budget for that right now, she'd say, every single time. Or, you're just so good at it, why mess with what's working? What was working was me, just me, alone, holding the whole thing together with sticky notes and muscle memory. Then came the layoffs. 2 people on my team got cut in the same round last spring, and their work landed straight on my desk. No raise, no thank you. Meetings got shorter and meaner. Nobody asked what I thought anymore. They just wanted the smoke to stop. So I started looking. Quietly at first, then not so quietly. 3 months ago, I interviewed at Halden Freight, a company 2 exits down the highway doing basically the same work Bramwell does, just better funded and better run. 6 weeks ago, they offered me the job. $19 more an hour than Bramwell ever paid me. I gave my 2 weeks notice on a Monday morning. HR barely blinked. Denise looked like she'd swallowed a bug whole. We'll need you to do some knowledge transfer before you go, she said, already reaching for her calendar. Sure, I said. Sure. They scheduled 4 meetings across my last 2 weeks. Me, Denise, and whichever teammate could be spared for an hour. I walked into the first one with an actual outline, vendor contacts, login steps, the works, typed up and printed. Denise glanced at her phone under the table. Let's just keep this quick. Just answer what we ask. We don't need the whole history lesson. Fine. That's what she asked for. So that's exactly what she got. From then on, if they asked me one narrow question, I answered that one narrow question and nothing more. If nobody asked about step 2 of a process, step 2 never came up. I wasn't lying to a single person in that room. I was following instructions to the letter. By the second meeting, people were looking a little pale. By the third, someone finally asked if I could just write it all down instead, and I mentioned, calmly, that I'd offered exactly that 4 different times over the last 2 years, and been told no every time. Denise didn't have anything to say back to that. The last meeting landed on a Thursday afternoon, my second to last day. Denise sat across from me with a legal pad that had maybe 6 lines scratched onto it. She asked about the shipment tracking software, the one running our entire outbound schedule. Where's the admin login kept? She asked. On my phone, I said, in an authenticator app. Can you just give us that? You'd have to reset it through the vendor. Takes a few business days for them to verify who owns the account. Her face went the color of printer paper. Nobody had ever needed to reset it before, because I'd logged in every single morning at 7 sharp for 6 years like clockwork. We're screwed, she said, mostly to the legal pad, like it might rearrange itself into a plan if she stared hard enough. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Well, I said, you wouldn't listen to me 6 months ago when I tried to tell you this. She didn't say anything back. There wasn't much left to say. My actual last day was quiet. No cake, no card, no goodbye lunch. I turned in my badge, packed my 1 box of desk stuff, and walked out to the parking lot for the last time. 2.5 weeks later, my old coworker Simone texted me. She still had my number from a group chat nobody bothered to remove me from. Everything is on fire here, she wrote. Tracking system locked the whole warehouse out for 4 days. They flew in a consultant. He charged $15,000 to figure out what you used to just know. I read it twice, standing in the break room at Halden, where they'd already put me in 3 planning meetings, and actually asked, what I thought the process should look like going forward. I sent Simone 1 laughing emoji, and slid my phone back in my pocket. $15,000 for information I'd offered them for free, 4 separate times, for $19 an hour less than what I make now. Turns out silence gets expensive fast when nobody bothers to write anything down.